Let me hear you scream. It's the Worldwide DJ Coalition.
BDSIR Network, the best damn show in worldwide radio. We rock the spot R920, International Fleet Radio. We are sponsored by Dr. Juice. Well, not this particular one because we don't finish it already. You know what I mean? Who got the juice now? I am the one-man army, Grand Body P of the Worldwide DJ Coalition. What an honor and privilege. What a position that I've put myself in right now. You know what I mean? A special guest in the building. And I love how this has come together in 2022. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, my special guest knows 3 other individuals that's been on the show this year. I'm going to talk about them. You know what I mean? But before I even do that, this man is a proud family man. Like his name's Guile. Hip-hop fan, MC, known for projects like It's Not That Serious, Feud for Thought, social media, and his new album, You Want a Piece of Me, is out now, okay? And if I was you people, you don't want a piece of this man. Trust me, people, get on your feet, show your respect, because I need you to acknowledge this man. I need you to acknowledge the man who set you off a challenge, and I hope you've accepted it because I have. I need to acknowledge this man, spell his name right, pronounce his name right. The man called S on the RePPiN4U Hip Hop Show. How you feeling, brother? Welcome.
Peace. What up, Grandpa P? It's been a long time. Been a long time coming. How you doing?
You know what? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. You're here. I'm here. You know what I mean? We're all here. We're healthy. You know what I mean? You got, for what I can see, you inside your car. You know what I mean? And I mean inside my house, so we can't complain. You know what I mean? It's like there's people out there in the cold. You in Canada, right?
Yes, sir. Just outside of Toronto.
Right. So I've had my little experience of Canada. I've never been there, but if I'm right in saying this, from around November time, that's when it all goes off, weather-wise.
December, like December into January.
Right. I think a certain place. I think it's Manitoba, I believe. Ooh. November comes down, it must be Northern Canada or something, and then
that's like central, so it gets cold actually pretty much a lot sooner than everywhere else. So yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they're probably feeling it like even all now. They're probably like going through it right now.
Raw, man. There was, you know what, there was a time when I was contemplating going out to Manitoba, because I know people out there, and I was like, yo, I'm not coming out there between November and March. From what you're saying, I ain't trying to come out there between November and March. You know what I mean? Out here in the UK, if we get snow, we probably get snow for like 2-3 days, and everything's at a standstill. I know you guys got it on lock. That's what I do know about Canada still.
Yep. We get some heavy ones. We get some heavy ones every once in a while. It hasn't been that bad, with climate change and whatnot, but we get some cold ones.
Okay, understood. With me. Well, as I say, man, if I come out to Canada, I sincerely hope it's not between those months. But anyway, I didn't bring you on the show to talk about the weather. No. No. You have got a body of work that, to the point where, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, S. I can't remember how I heard of you. I can't exactly how I heard. I don't know if it was through a submission or it was through another radio station that I regularly listen to. On that note, shout outs to you, DJ Hellraiser. DEF, the STFU show. I
Yeah,
take them.
it might have been through him actually. It might have been through Hellraiser.
I have a
I
feeling it
I
was.
I stumbled across his show through another DJ, Chris G. I think he has
Mm,
straight from the underground. He's got an app, and I believe Hellraiser has a show on his app as well.
yeah.
And I think I stumbled across through him. I stumbled across one of your posts on Facebook, and I've seen that
Mm,
you have a hip hop show too. And me being the artist on the grind that I am, I'm always trying to reach out to as many different outlets as possible to get my stuff out there.
yeah.
So I think I reached out to you. I might have messaged you asking if you accept submissions, and then I sent you a couple of joints, and you were feeling them, and you played them, and I think that's how the relationship kind of started. And I just kept every time I had new release, I keep sending you new material as it's ready,
Yeah.
and you've been showing love. So I appreciate you for that.
Sounds about right to me. Sounds kind of right because I've been listening to DJ Hellraiser for a good few years now. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. So because he plays tunes that I I won't say I won't play. More like that's missed my radar. You know what I mean? And he covers ground there, and then I cover ground on the other side, and it's almost like we're working together without working together, if you know what I mean. And now
Right,
we are
right.
International Fleet Radio. We are, we're back to back from each other. So his show starts first, and then my show follows after. So yeah, man, International Fleet Radio, salute, DJ Cool Hand, salute. You know what I mean? Let's get back to you, man. Yo, um, tell us about growing up in Toronto, man, and how you got into the art form that is hip hop.
Man, it's an interesting story actually.
Hmm.
So hip hop found me. I was actually living in Trinidad and Tobago at the time. So shouts out to TNT for all the
Yeah,
Caribbean
TNT.
heads out there. So I was living out there, mid '80s, and it was '87 is during regularly scheduled, television programming. So commercial break, they played a rap video, and this is before I even knew it was called rap. So it was, these three dudes, bucket hats on, white Adidas sneakers,
Yeah.
walking with a weird kind of limp to them. I was like, what
No,
is this? What is this? This
know
is
who
me,
you're talking about.
10-year-old, and I had no idea what I just watched. It was a video. It was Tricky was the name of the video, and this
Yeah.
was before I even knew who Run DMC was. I remember watching it, and I was like, what is this? And I was so captivated by what they were doing, how they were communicating. Like, they weren't singing, they weren't talking, it was some in between. They were doing
Yeah.
a kind of a rhythmic talking. and it was
Yeah. Yeah.
and I remember at the time, it's like, oh my God, this is the most interesting thing ever. And as time went on, I got a little bit more hip to this art form, this culture. And yeah, from '87, that was the catalyst. That video was the catalyst that had me open my eyes, bug eye open, trying to figure out what the hell this thing is. And fast forward to '91, I moved back to Canada. Um, family circumstances, we moved back up here. And I was a fan, had friends that were into it, listened to the same kind of music. And
Mm.
through high school, college, I kept doing it with friends, and just stuck with it. '07 is when I officially started like releasing music to the public, or I felt confident enough in what I was
Right.
writing and recording to actually release music out to the public.
Okay.
And it's been on ever since. I've been up until that point, I'd been like a bedroom MC, writing my little raps, you know, freestyling in my bedroom or whatnot in the shower. Never really shared any of my material with anybody outside of like my immediate family. And
Mm.
you know, MySpace, '06, 2006, 2007 on MySpace is kind of when I started to, meet people, network with other artists, BJs, producers, and then I got the confidence to actually share my material to people outside of my immediate circle. And then, the feedback was always positive. People always showed love. you know, had good things to say about what I was doing back then, and you know, I just kept doing it, and here we are, 2022. You know, I'm still doing what I enjoyed as a teenager. So hip hop, that's what it is.
Wow. You know what? I know even though you said it pretty much started from Run DMC, right? And it's kind of funny you say that because shout outs to my guest last week on last week's RePPiN4U, the man called Positive K. Even
Okay,
he was
word.
saying, yes, even he was saying, yo, he'd love for Run DMC to do one more album. And I'm like, man, you know, straight away it was a heartbreak because of, you know, JMJ.
I'm saying,
You
Mr.
know what I
J, rest
mean?
in peace.
Yes, sir. But in regards to you though, even though your fandom pretty much started there, I feel like you kind of missed out a vital component, and I'd say it's 25 years in the making. So I want to go back to 1997. You know what I mean? Now that year, I believe you met the man who worked with you on this latest album right here now. Tell us about that, man.
Oh yes, yeah. Shout out to my man J Pal. So I met him in '97. So we went to college together. He was a host of a hip hop show back then, and which I was
Mm,
a fan of.
yeah.
Met him through a mutual friend, and yeah, we've been cool ever since. You know, he his show called In the Cut. Shouts out to In the Cut, CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton. Yeah, they played some of the best in independent underground hip hop, and you know, put me onto a lot of the dope joints that you know kept me inspired to want to you know do
Mm,
this music thing. You know,
yeah.
college radio. You know, it's just the beauty of college radio. That's what college radio does. It discovers and you know showcases the gems that you know mainstream radio won't play. So he was a part of that movement, and you know I definitely appreciated him for what he did on that show. Him and his partner DJ Rays, and yeah, we he's been a you know a music fan, a beat head, you know the type of dude to go digging, you know, for records and
Mm,
you know, collecting. You know, I've been to his house a few times and seen his you know huge collection of records. He's been making beats from you know way back when. And you know, we had collaborated actually once before on my first album, Feud for Thought. He did two joints off of that album, and you know, we kept in touch. And you know, just kind of out of the blue during the pandemic, he had reached out. You know, he said he had some material kind of just sitting around, and he hit me up, asked me if you know I'd be interested to hear what he had, and I heard what he had, and I was like, "Yo, what are you doing with these?" And the rest is history. You know, just kind of chipped away a little bit at a time, starting in you know early 2021, and you know by you know September, October, we had you know pretty much a body of work that we felt confident we could put out and share with the
mm.
world, and that's what we did this past February. We put "You Want a Piece of Me" out, and feedback's been real dope. So yeah, we just
Yeah, man. So hold on a second. But this is not the first time you worked together, though, right?
no, we worked together back in 2012. Feud for Thought. He produced two joints, Feud for Thought intro and a track called Day and Night.
Okay, okay, right. I had this idea that J Powell produced like the majority of Food for Thought. You know what I mean? And then like you decided to come full circle and then create this one here. If you want a piece of me.
Yeah, it was just the two joints the first time around, and then this time we decided, you know what, we're just gonna do a whole project together, and it worked out great. I mean, he had the sound that fits me
Yeah.
and brought out you know the best in me, and you know here we are.
Wow. My people, that album is out there right now. He's just said it. Go and check it out, man. You know what I mean? And you can get it on the Bandcamp as well, man. So show a brother love, man, and go cut that. You know what I mean? Some
Indeed.
nice tune on there. Now, see this album here? You want a piece of me? Now, I don't know if anyone said this to you before, but it's not really a comparison, but I feel like you've made your own quote Illmatic unquote.
Oh
By
wow.
that I mean, by that I mean I don't mean in like content, in as in what the subject matter or whatnot, but more in a concept where is you one the artist. There's no guest features apart from one. For Nas,
Right.
it was AZ. For you, it's Elzai. Like, was that what was that your intent all along, just to have like one guest feature or no guest features and things like that?
Well, the actual the intent was to have no guest features. So the Elzai situation was completely by accident, which I'm grateful it happened, but it wasn't a part of the original plan. It was just supposed to be Jay and I just expressing ourselves musically. Me telling my story and him supplying the soundscapes for me to express on. And
Mm.
the Elzai situation kind of happened sort of kind of at the same time, but you know we sort of made it happen. So my boy Righteous, shouts out to my boy Righteous. He was working on a compilation project called As of Now, which is actually out there on all platforms. So As of Now, look
Mm.
it up. This is pretty dope. Has some dope features on there. So he was working on this compilation project, and actually before he had announced to me that he was working on this project, he had it was just us as hip hop fans just kind of talking, and he had asked me if I had any artists out there that I want to work with, who would that be? And it's just kind of
Right.
it's a kind of a regular question that a hip hop fan would ask. I didn't really think anything of it at the time,
Yeah.
and I said, yeah, Elzai. I mean, that's one of my favorite MCs. In my personal top five. If I had an opportunity and the situation and the means were right, yeah, it'd definitely be him. And I didn't really give it any thought after that. The dude hits me back up about maybe a few weeks later, says he has a connect. He knows how to get at him, and if I'm down to jump on a joint with him, you know,
Okay.
you know, let's make it happen. I was like, word. So at the time, the deadline he was kind of pushing to get the project out. I think it was like July, August, and this was like June at the time that he had mentioned this to me. So, and then with the pandemic and all the issues with being able to travel and connect in person,
Yeah.
it wasn't really a feasible option for us to like connect in the same place. So, at this time, I had already had the attack joint done. So the two verses, the scratch chorus, everything was done
Right.
for this joint, which was going to be on the You Want a Piece of Me album. And I thought, well, you know what? In order to kind of meet your deadline, I have this joint which I think is sort of in the lane of what Elzai would jump on. It's a concept record,
Mm.
hard
Yeah.
hitting, raw
Yeah.
hip hop kind of joint.
Yeah.
So, what if I was to, have him jump on the third verse? So I hit up my boy Jay and say, yo, what do you think about that? You down for that? And he was like, hell yeah, yeah, why not? Let's do it. It'll be a great opportunity for us to get a bigger name on our project, and then also a way for us to get a better, profile joint for my boy Righteous's compilation. So say no more. I sent him the verse, sent him like a one paragraph summary of the concept. A couple weeks later, he hit us back with a verse. We got it mixed, and the rest is history. So that's how Attack came to be. But yeah, it was totally by accident. It wasn't planned. It kind of worked out, and we're grateful for it.
I love when things are not planned, when that was not the original intention, and then it turns out even better than you had even thought of. Then
Word,
now you've
word.
got Attack, and there's a video for it as well, right? There's a video for
There's
it.
the video on YouTube, so it's
Yes, right.
on my YouTube channel. I think it's also on Paka the Plug. He has a YouTube page. It's on there as well, and I think there's another page that has it as well. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, anybody out there watching this, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Look up S Attack, and you'll find it on YouTube. It's pretty dope video.
And in that video, see, this is a nice segue, right? In that video, there is a cameo appearance from one of my favorite DJs, friend of the program, DJ Merciless.
Merciless, indeed. He blessed the scratch chorus beautifully. That's my dude. That's my guy right there. Shout out to Merciless.
Oh man, so you know where I'm going with this, don't you, S? You know where I'm going with this. See, this is what I'm saying, people. I don't know. I have no idea, right? But I'll blow my own horn here. RePPiN4U Hip Hop Show might be the only show on the planet right now that has featured all 4 guests in 1 year. By that, I mean DJ Merciless, Hakim Green, Soulrac, and now US.
Word. Shout out to Soulrac. Shout out to Merciless. Shout out to Hakim Green as well.
Yes, all 4 guys on one epic posse cut. You know what I mean? I don't think it's happened. If there's any other radio station out there that's featured all 4 of these guys on an interview in 1 year, let me know. Show me them. Bring them to me. Okay? If they haven't, show them. Yeah, I want to see the receipt. I've got all the evidence. Okay? You know what I mean? Acknowledge me. Tune team called Cassette Tape.
Return of the funky man, my first cassette purchase. Study the lines, proceeded to fill my head with verses. Did a dream my version of a release, so I put pen to paper, scribble verses to beat. Recited these verses into my deck's built-in mic. One cassette was loop, instrumental bits that I like. The second cassette to record the verses I spit. Compiled a couple recordings, then I pressed the eject button. Now to label the tape, something cool was planned. Before even knowing what brand meant, this was the man. Now for the playback, to hit it boom in these raps. In my excitement, I forgot to remove all the slack. The tape chewed, looking like
right. I've heard their stories. I want to hear yours, S. Because that tune, man, tune is epic, man. The tune is epic. Talk about it.
So this one is another one that was completely by accident. So Merciless had posted something online on Instagram. Totally nothing related to the song. He posted something, you know, he's been my dude for over a decade. And I commented on it, and he responded to my comment saying, "Yo, I need a verse from you for something." Okay, cool. Just DM me and, you know, let me know the details. So he had mentioned that he was working with this artist on a project, and there was an open verse. First verse was open that he wanted me to jump on. He I guess felt my energy would fit the track. So yeah, okay, send me the instrumental. I'll write to it and I'll shoot you back the verse. And yeah, I think within a week, I sent him back what he needed. And a few weeks later, I heard the final version of it, and it's like, wow, this is this is serious. And this is before I'd never met Soulrac before. This was like, he put me on the Soulrac. You know, and at that point, I started to kind of search him online, search his YouTube, search his Bandcamp to try to get hip to him. And yeah, okay, I get it. I get it now. this guy's official.
Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. You know what I mean? So I salute all 4 of you on that one, man. You know what I mean? That's one of the big tunes come out this year, man. I mean, and as soon as I heard it, I instantly thought of the Sean Price version, because I remember Sean Price was rhymed over a similar beat, and then Pop the Brown Hornet did the same thing as well. Actually, Sean Price, to my knowledge, Sean Price came out with it first, then your version came out, and I think Pop the Brown Hornet version came out after that. I could have got it wrong, but I love all 3 versions, man. I'm like, jeez! Nah, man, these guys went in, man. Like I say, I don't think any radio show on this planet has had all 4 guys come on the show in the same year. You know what I mean? That's what's up, man. Big ups to Merciless, man. You know what I mean? Chose you to jump on the track. That was and Soulrac.
Great look. Yeah. Shout out to Merciless once again. Just completely out of the blue, it just hopped in my lap and I had to run with it. So
Brilliant, brilliant. I think Soulrac was talking about making a visual for that as well.
oh,
I,
word?
I,
Okay.
I'm sure. I'm sure it was. So yeah, it's something I'm definitely looking forward to, man. Yeah, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
It would
Right.
be it would be dope if we could actually do one because I love the concept of the track is fire because
Yes.
when I heard the beat and I heard his verse, I heard the kind of the scratch outro and what Hakim Green was talking about. I said, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna kind of retrace my steps back in my high school days when I started to try to record on my own, tape player, and take one cassette through on one side of the deck, and then you get the loop on the other side, and then you push the
Hmm.
record button, and I basically retraced my steps to back in high school, how I used to create my mini demos. And it's a fun period, man. A fun development period for me, and yeah, I definitely sort of capture that the essence of cassette tape because cassettes were a major part of my come up for sure.
Absolutely. I've got a box of cassettes here somewhere as well. Man. I think it's up there somewhere. You know what I mean? The mall up there, man. All the cassettes, including the purple tape, the very first
Yep.
album you ever buy. You know what I mean?
Word.
So, and S, check it out. I bought that by accident. I
Word.
bought the purple tape by accident. I didn't set out to buy it. You know what I mean? I never set out to buy it. It just happened to be August 1st, 1995, when I walked in the store. It just happened to be that date. And I
Wow.
walked out with the purple tape only because it had more tracks than the album I was originally going to buy. I thought, this album's got what, 18 tracks for the same price. Is that what it is? Oh, okay. That's the only reason why I bought it. I had no idea what I was holding in my hand at that time. I
Wow.
was not prepared.
Wu-Tang Clan rocks the world.
Yes, 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 people. We are back in it. Back in it on the BDSIR network, the best damn show in worldwide radio. We are sponsored by Got the Juice. Who got the juice now? I am your host, the one-man army. Acknowledge me. Say it to me. Grab Body Peter, who or DJ Coalition, speaking with the man called S. Pronounce his
Yes.
name right. Acknowledge that man's name right, okay? I want to talk about that real quick, man. Is that like a pet peeve of yours, S? You know what I mean? It's like,
You know what? In the it's I said it was a pet peeve in the song, but I've kind of grown used to it, and it's more like a playful thing now. If somebody says my name wrong, I just kind of laugh it off and I correct them and I just keep it moving. But years ago, it was like, yo, why you, it's two letters. What's so hard about it?
yeah, especially I mean, given your real name as well, it just makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
It actually makes sense if people, especially people who actually know you, know you, know you. You know what I
Right.
mean? They should know better, if anything. You know what
They
I
should.
mean? I mean, I've got a little pet peeve of my own, where my real name, I kind of hate when, well, not hate, hate's the wrong word, but it annoys me a little bit when people spell my name wrong, and instead of AE, they put EA. You know what I mean? In my name, so it's like they got
Right.
the two letters mixed up at the end of the name. I'm thinking
Yeah.
it's a simple name. Why would you do that? It makes no sense.
That's nice.
So you decided to make a track about that, man. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was after literally years of hearing people, radio hosts, live show hosts, you know, say my name wrong. They'd introduce me to their program, introduce me on stage, and they'd say the
mm,
name wrong. So it happened enough times that I thought, you know what? Let me just have fun with this. I'll just put out a PSA type track, and then even take it a step further in the second verse where I talk about how it was from my childhood. This is not a new issue. From my with
right,
my
yeah.
Well, my government name, it was the same thing. So I kind of to sort of appease people, make it easier for people to sort of navigate through that situation. I kind of gave them almost like an out, and then sort of reflecting on that as a grown man now, I realized
Mm.
that maybe in doing so, making it easier for other people, I took a little piece of myself. I lost a piece of myself because my name is a Cameroonian name, a West African name.
Okay.
So yeah, my government name is a Cameroonian name. So
Oh, we never know that. We never know that.
yeah,
So, okay
yeah.
then. So tell me something else. Do you know what that name means? Because when it comes to like African names like that, there's usually a powerful meaning behind it.
You know what? To be honest, I don't know what it means. I've never asked my parents, but I will be seeing my parents this evening. I will holler at them and ask.
All
My
right.
name is like where the part of Cameroon that my parents are from, like that name is common. It's like it's as common as like John or Mike.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
there's tons of me where they're from. So I've never asked them what it means, but it's a common name in the area of the country that they're from.
See, that's just like my name, and my name's as common as anything. So when people
Yeah,
spell it, it annoys me a little bit. That's number one, and number two, yeah, as I say, it's common as anything. But the reason why I was named, I was named that name was actually my grandma.
word.
She says the highest angel in the Bible, the highest angel in heaven, name him after the highest angel. So that's what. So my mom was gonna call me something else. She was gonna call me something else, and my grandma was like, "No, I will turn out like a criminal." So I've got to thank my grandma, man. I've not seen the inside walls of a prison, thank goodness. You know what I
Thank
mean?
goodness.
That's what's up, man. You know what I mean? I've chose this path right here of radio and journalism and talking to
Dope,
you right now. Now
dope, dope.
that's what's up. Now this is Canada to the UK, UK to Canada. So you probably know where I'm going with this S, right? Earlier we talked about you and J Paul. So
Yep.
now let's talk about you and DJ Pandemonium.
Panda. Shout out to Panda.
Yes, yes, sir. Right. It's just over a year since the Connected EP. How
Yes,
aptly
yeah,
named.
we put that out September of 2020. So yeah, it's 2 years now. It's 2 years old already.
Oh, 2 years. I thought it was 1 year old, No
Yeah.
matter. Yeah, man. The Connected EP. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah,
So that
man.
was that was a fun project. So yeah, it's pandemic vibes. Found him, stumbled across him on Facebook a few years
Right.
ago, and yeah, I commented on one of his posts, and that's all it
It's
took.
a,
Like I
it's a
seen
bit of
it.
a pattern here, isn't it? It's a bit of a pattern. You comment
Yeah,
on
that's
the post, and then next thing you
like
know, they hit you up like, yo.
no, like I hit him up. Like I heard like he had I think it was either a remix that he did for an artist. Like he put his beats over somebody else's acapella, and it was
Right.
fire. So I commented on the post, and we had maybe one or two comments back and forth, and then I friended him. I added him on Facebook. We kind of started chopping it up in Messenger, and
Mm.
he shared links to his music. I shared links to mine, and we're like, "Yo, you're dope." He thought my material was good, and you know, we kind of started talking. You think we could do a couple of tracks? And at the time, I was thinking, well, why settle on two or three tracks? Let's do a full EP. You
Yes.
know, it's pandemic. There's nothing else going on. We can't really go anywhere or do a whole lot.
Yeah.
So why don't we create some music? And he was down. 4 or 5 months later, we had the EP. So that's all it took, and it's kind of ironic because the previous album I talked about social media and some of the good and the bad and the ugly of social media,
Oh,
but this is
yes.
actually this is one of the good aspects that I love about social media. You meet amazing talent from different parts of the world that share
Yeah.
that share this common ground, this common this mutual love that we have for this thing that we call hip hop,
Yeah.
and we decided to connect and for the love of hip hop, put out a project together, and it came out dope. Feedback was dope, and we've helped build other relationships on the strength of that project. He's met some people over here in North America that maybe weren't hip to him, and a few UK heads that probably never heard of me prior to that release, are more familiar with what I do now. So it was,
Yeah.
a mutually beneficial, endeavor that we took. And yeah, we're definitely gonna work again on another project at some point. So
Yes.
yeah, shout out to Panda.
Salute, Panda. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Because you know what would happen, right? S. He'd hit me up on the DM. He was like, "Yo, you're from the UK. How are you gonna speak to S on the show and not mention me?" Come on, now. Come on, now, that would be criminal. You know what I mean? Considering I was named after the highest angel in the Bible, that would be criminal for me not to
True.
do that, man. Serious, man. It's true. Right now, man. Let's talk about more of your music, man. You know what I mean? More of your music and how I became a. Actually, I think that that social media album. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. And I think that was the one that really made me a fan of yours. I think that's what did it. It was that. I think it was that album. I'm sure of it. But before I get into that, I want to give a big shout out to once again DJ Hellraiser STFU show. You know what I mean? Now he's got a question for you, right? So I'm gonna ask you it now. Outside of your wife, like, what inspired you to make the track Tinker Grow Old Together? You know what I mean? And how it was perceived from its perspective.
So how it came together?
Yeah.
Basically, so the producer, shouts out to my man Dr. Drummer from Brazil. So I'd met him on Facebook through I can't remember how we met, but the beat that he sent me it spoke to me. I mean, it just had that vibe, and I decided that yeah, that's the kind of joint that I wanted to write. I wanted to do a tribute ode to wifey, and sort of retrace our steps from when we met to
Yeah.
where we're at the time. And that's basically it. I mean, the music kind of directed where I was gonna go with it. I didn't really have to overthink anything, and I just kind of let the vibe and the sample and everything in the beat kind of direct me on how I was gonna approach it and how I executed it. So yeah, that's basically it.
Nice. You see, I think it's one of the reasons why, people like us, like people like me, Hellraiser, and guys like we gravitate towards artists like you because you speak on real life things, like
Right.
everyday things. You know what I mean? You said it yourself. You're just a regular dude that just loves this hip hop thing. You don't walk around with chain around your neck back and go on like you got this and that and blah blah blah. You actually connect on a realistic human level. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I've said it before in other interviews. I think one line that I said was, I like to think that I thrive off, simplicity. I'm not a complicated dude. I don't have, drama in my life really. I go through what the average person goes through in their life. Trying to survive, be
Yeah.
the best father to their kids, best husband to their significant other, and paying bills and mortgage and working a 9 to 5. I'm just a regular dude that just so happens to love hip hop also. So I try not to overthink it. I just kind of go with how I feel in the moment. I listen to the music, let the music sort of take my mind to wherever it needs to go, and that's what I put to paper, and that's what I put out there.
You know what I mean? Put you in that zone. Put you in that
Word.
zone. Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Nice segue. Nice segue to talk about the Piece of Me album, which is one of my favorite tracks as well on there. thing called home.
Home is a place or is it a state of mind? Sometimes I feel alive when my mind is straying outside, trying to find another part of me that I didn't know existed. Then I pull that part of me, incorporate it into a scripture. I learned a lot about myself through my writing, seen the effects of my words manifesting the real excitement when recited in person and that.
Like,
word.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? Take a bow on that one, man. That tune is nice, man.
Respect.
That tune, me love tune like that, you know what I mean? And then at the end, it's like you're asking people like a definition. What's your definition of home? You know what I mean?
Word.
And even like home could be so many different aspects, man. So many different definitions. Asking all sorts of people. While I'm talking to you right now, even though you're not in your physical home, you look like you're at home right now in your car, just relaxed. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, you know what? On the drive to work every day, my car is my home because I have my tunes playing. So it's just me and the road, and I got my tunes. So that's like my third home.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah, man. I mean, if you want my definition, I mean, outside of these walls I'm in now, you know what I mean? There's other places in the UK I consider my home, like the studio I check for. The studio
Word.
is my home. I was getting that zone, and I become Grant Body P. Acknowledge
Yes,
me.
indeed.
I become that guy, right? I'm
Right.
at home, behind the booth. I mean, no one can touch me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, man. Or when I go to London, when I got to Brixton and I go to those venues and I see some of those artists, I feel like I'm at home. You know what I mean? And everyone around me is my family. You know what I mean? Listen to this
Word.
art form, hip hop, listen to our heroes. You know what I mean? I feel that's home. You know what I mean? The shopping Brixton, they make it feel like home. You know what I mean? You eat fish and chips just like you do at home in the UK. You know what I mean? That's the feeling they give you, but it's in a hip hop format.
Right.
Home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
home is one of those things that it like you say, it means different things to different people. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's your safe space, the place where you're most comfortable, where you can be
Yeah.
your true, authentic self. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what home is. And that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to kind of, put out there in that song. That's the energy I wanted to put out. These two different worlds that are separate but both part of who I am. These are what I consider home. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that, man. I feel that. Nice tune, nice tune. Man, yo, I mean, I'm having too much fun, man. You know what I mean? On this interview, man. Gotta big you up, man. Let's keep moving, man. Let's keep it going. Then the next tune on the album I like, and one of my favorites, man. Tinker, instrumental over instrumental.
okay.
Now,
Word.
there's one line in there that really like took my attention. Like, did he just say that? I like the fact that you said it. You said hip hop is in a good place. There's not many MCs that say the same thing. They've always got something negative to say about hip hop as it is right now. You know what I mean? Can you elaborate more on that? You know what I mean? Because that is nice, man.
Yeah, hip hop is in a great place, and I say that because look at how much dope music comes out every single day. Look at how much dope music you play on your show, or Hellraiser plays on his show, or countless others that play on their show. And these are
Yeah,
releases that come out every single day, every single day. It's like to the point where it's tough for a fan. Like even though I make music, I'm still a fan first and foremost. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
real. It's real difficult to keep up, just with all the volume of dope music that comes out. And it's that dope music, and listening to podcasts and radio shows such as yourself and others that keeps me inspired to keep making music, because these are people that keep me excited about wanting to get back in the booth, or pick up the pen, or continue to write, because there's so much talent, and it's not necessarily the big household names. These are like regular dudes like me and you,
Yeah.
just in different parts of the world that are
Yeah.
expressing their interpretation of what hip hop is to them, and it's dope. A lot of it's dope. So I don't think hip hop's fallen off. It never did. You know, maybe on the mainstream level, maybe that's up for debate, but I don't really check for the mainstream stuff. I listen to, you know, the independent, underground, you know, the raw authentic, what I like to call the raw authentic hip hop. That's what I listen to. And from back in the 90s when I was a huge fan to now, I still go to some of the same outlets to hear the same caliber or better material coming out on a daily basis. So how can hip hop have fallen off? It's impossible. Hip hop never went anywhere. The dope
Exactly.
shit never went anywhere. It's always been here. And it's just the medium has changed. That's the only thing that really that's changed. The volume of material that's come out and the medium where it's distributed. That's really all that changed. But the talent has always been there.
Absolutely. I mean, by the time this interview goes out, right? Several. I saw it on Hellraiser's Facebook page actually, so big ups to him. That there's like several albums coming out in 1 week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like several, and some of them tracks are gonna, featured on this show as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, if you want to talk about pet peeves, that's probably the biggest pet peeve I got is when someone, it might be their opinion, but they'll put it up on their page. Oh, hip hop's dead. There's nothing out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're insulting me right now.
Yeah. That's a lazy rap fan. Lazy rap fans who say stuff like that. That's the truth. It's the truth. If anybody could say that with a straight face, it's just obviously they're not listening, or they don't know where to look.
Yeah, cleaning it up, man. Yeah, I mean, when you talk about on a mainstream level, what I like to do, you know what I mean, is like I try to take the best from each facet of hip hop, whether it's mainstream, underground, anything in between. You know what I mean? I like to do that. You know what I mean? That's what you find with this show right here, man. You know what I mean? So 1 minute you might hear something from the Lux, for example. I consider the Lux mainstream, and then we'll hear something from S. You know what I mean? That's the way. You know, I might play something from Recognize Ali. At the same time, I may throw on something that's featuring DMX. That's just how I roll. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is, man. Man, which brings, I mean, it pretty much brings me to perhaps the final question I want to ask you, and you know exactly what I'm going to ask you before we close this out. And it's the track that truly made me a fan of yours. This is the tune that did it. The Do Better Challenge. The Do Better Challenge. My question to you is, since you laid that challenge, do you think social media or society has done better, or has it got worse?
Oh man, that's like a rhetorical question. I mean, as long as you have the internet, you're always going to get people trolling and doing things for attention. I mean, this is the age we live in right now. You know, people have access to these gadgets to express themselves, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. So, is it better? Hell no. I mean,
no.
There's always something. I mean, people show their true colors online, and that's it's just a given. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you take the good with the bad. Try not to focus too much on the bad. You just kind of whatever you know while you're scrolling, whatever kind of doesn't appeal to you, you know, I would suggest to anybody, just if it's upsetting you or something you don't want to see, just keep scrolling. Don't get worked up about it, and you know, that's
Do you
that's
hear
really
that, people? Do
that's
you hear
really
what
the
when you're on the toilet with your phone, if you see something you don't like, keep scrolling.
keep scrolling
and squeeze one out. Scream and tell me the spoon to
Oh my
scream
God.
and keep scrolling.
But I mean, this I mean, a lot of the stuff that we see online, I mean, you just gotta shake your head. You gotta, you face palm. You're just
Yeah,
like, wow,
yeah.
did this really happen? Did this person actually really just do this? And these are some of the things that get millions of views. And kids maybe who don't know better, they think that that's the cool thing to do. This is what they have to do to get on. This is what they have to do to get attention. And they put themselves in harm's way, put their family members in harm's way.
Yeah.
For what? It is what it is. So I mean, the whole purpose of Do Better Challenge was not to necessarily point fingers or single anybody out. It was more to just say, look at where we're at as a
Yeah.
society. This is where we're at as society. This is what we do
Mm,
to gain attention. This is what we feel we need to do to be taken seriously. Take a look at
mm,
yourself in the mirror and assess: are you that person? Are you part of the problem? Do
yeah.
better. I
Now,
challenge us to do better.
I
So
feel
I didn't
like,
just say I did, and I was careful in my wording when I with the opening line. I didn't say I challenge you to do better. I said I challenge us to do better. So this
yeah.
is this. I mean, this is all of us. What role or what part do we play in all of this madness that we call social media?
So, to that, let me ask you this, and you could be honest. Like, I could tell you, I've been I've been a victim of it myself, right? I've done so much stupid on social media just to gather attention on some garbage, on some bullish, you know what I mean? And I heard your track, I was thinking, oh, he's right, Why the hell? Why on earth did I get my friends to get a bucket of ice and put it over my head? Like, what? That was stupid. Is there anything stupid that you've done in social media in your time, and then you look back and you think, why on earth did I do that?
Ooh. Hmm. That's a good question. That's a really good question. You stumped me with that one. Now I got to really think.
Oh
Oh,
man,
I got to really think.
that was not meant to
Ah,
be the intention.
no, honestly, I don't know. Like I don't really put myself out there like that, really. Like
Right.
usually if I do a live or I go online, it's usually to talk about, music, something music related, or I might be asking a question for, my supporters, or I might
Yeah.
be just, sharing a family moment or anything like that. But as far as like gimmicks and, different things to gain attention, challenges, it's not really me. But
Yeah.
again, I say that to say, it wasn't a targeted attack. It was just more of a general,
Mm,
look at what's going on. Look at where we are as a society. What does this really make sense? Is this who we
yeah.
want to be? And I challenge us to do better. We got to do better because some of it's problematic, and that's without question. Some of
Mm,
it's harmless fun. Some of it is
yeah.
problematic. It's the problematic stuff that's more
Yeah.
worrisome. Yeah.
I can tell you this, S. I took your track seriously. I, even though you said you challenged us to do better, I listened to that track as if you were talking to me. You know what I mean? And I looked at the ice bucket thing that I did how many years ago, and I had to clap myself in the head like that was stupid. That was dumb. And then ever since then, I've been like a lot more careful of what I'm doing online and stuff. You know what I mean? Considering who I am and everything. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, right, okay, that can't run, that this can't run, that's okay. Like little challenges, like not even challenge, like I've seen things where you've probably seen it yourself, where I nominate you and just come off with your favorite hip hop album, your favorite artist, your
Right.
favorite song, your favorite this, your favorite that, and and
Yeah.
and and then nominate 10 more people. To
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. That's
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 fine because
yeah.
yeah, because it's generating conversation and debates and
Conversations. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
good
it's not
engagement.
like that. it's nice like that. But see, that's one of the reasons why I've been very. I think I can't remember. It wasn't Positive K. I think it was the lady named Hava that I had on the show a few weeks back, and she was convincing me that it's all about TikTok right now. TikTok, do this, do that, and you get a whole heap of money. And I'm like, man, but I don't know how it would benefit me. So that's why I've been so hesitant to even join TikTok. You know what I mean? It might benefit the hip hop show.
TikTok is a weird one. Like I've been on TikTok maybe a month, maybe 2 months. Yeah, probably about a month, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to see. People have been telling me there's a lot of benefit to go on there. So I signed up. I posted maybe a couple of music video clips and things like that, music related. But as far as like the foolishness is like it's just not for me. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep the account anymore. Really, it's just not for me. But people do what they got to do to get on or gain traction, and however people see fit is for them. All the power to them. I'm not gonna judge anybody, but I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, or I haven't seen the value in it yet. So I'm still working on that. But
well, you know what? I'm not in that sense. It's a case of never say never. You know what I mean? Because what in 2022, like if this was I could take you back to like 2008, 2007, 2008. I never thought I'd find myself on Facebook. You know what I mean? And then look at it now, and then I heard about Twitter, and I was told what Twitter was like. I was like, I don't need to join there. And then until my career changed, I thought, oh snap, maybe I need to. And then Instagram, you know what I mean? I never thought I'd join on there. I thought I never joined on there because the phone was too old. You know what I mean? I thought, everything's on the phone.
Same here. I think I held off or fought off Twitter for as long as I could, and I joined, and made a few relationships on there, but I'm not as active on there as I could be. I could be on there a little bit more, but it is what it is. I think Facebook and Instagram are the two platforms that me personally, I gain the most, traction, I guess, or more interactions or engagements or whatever. So those are the two I focus on most. But
nice. Yeah, man. It's all how you use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's good and bad in it all. You know what I mean? But try and focus on more on the good if I can, as much as I possibly can. You know what I mean? That's what that is, man. Yo, S on the RePPiN4U hip hop show, man. Wow, what a moment. What a year, actually. What a year in terms of guests, man. Like I said, Hakim Green, people. Hakim Green, Soulrac, DJ Merciless, and S. They're all featured on one track, and they've all featured on this show in 1 year. Until you do that, people, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge the kid. Put some respect on his name, y'all. Put some respect on his name.
Do it! Do it! Only me can do this. Hey, you know who else I need to acknowledge? MJ. Every time.
Salute MJ.
MJ. Man. That woman, she's something else, man. She's something else. She is, man. You know what I mean? She put on this earth for a purpose, man. And wow. Maximum respect goes out to her. Actually, MJ, I'm going to say it on the show right now while you're here. Maybe, MJ, I want you to return to the show somewhere down the road. I think it's only right. I'm just saying. I mean, big ups to MJ. You got any other shout outs you want to give out, and where people can find you on the social media to do good, to do better?
Yeah, I just want to shout out you've been a real dope supporter for the last few years, spinning my tunes. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Grandpa P. Shout out to anybody who's watching this podcast or watching this playback. Appreciate you for supporting, and anybody that supports quality hip hop music. Shout out to you. Shout out to anybody who's who's ever supported, streamed, purchased, shared, retweeted, reshared, anything that S related. Appreciate you. If you like what you hear, definitely check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Same handle at HG Monster ES. So that's HGMONSTERES on all platforms, and you'll be able to find links to all my music, all my Apple Music, Spotify. You'll be able to find links to everything. So appreciate you once again.
Salute. I will say this before you go, S. People, when you check for him on Spotify, you may have to scroll down a little bit, because I've done that. I typed in S on the Spotify, and I'm seeing some other artists come up. I'm thinking, what is this? I have to scroll down a little bit. At least that's what I've got.
There's a lot more S's than I even realized. So I was like, yeah. So yeah, best way to find me, go on my Instagram, the link in my bio. You'll be able to find links to all my albums, direct links to all my albums.
Like the link tree and that. Yeah. That's the best way to do it, man. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. Massive respect, sir. Massive respect. Salute.
Like heroes, these people need to get their souls repoed. We need to spot these snakes in the grass, and I ask that we stop giving passes, calling things classic when yet to stand the test of time. They flash in the pan, dope to dummies, nothing more than amateurs, fan. Would love to meet your brother's keeper in these streets, right? God forbid you in some heat. Your brother's reach to film the street fight, refuse to intervene if it don't involve a come up. From sundown to sun up, when no come up, you get done up, hung up to dry. But they still refer to you as fam. Term of endearment, not deserve to be man. Fake views, fake news is how you stay true. Fake it till you make it is how you pay dues. Memes over microphones is how you slay crews. Streams and pay to play is how promoters pay you. Take you for granted when they ain't without you. Somehow convince us that we need them when the fact is not true. Dwindling in self-worth, we are the entertainment. Live performance breaks when fools stop editing arrangements. From studio recordings turning shows to karaoke. The standard's been lowered, industry said okie dokie. Hence amateurs embraced it like the other trends before them. Disrespect the foundation makes it harder.